Live here at the Hinsdale Bank Gym in Hinsdale, Illinois. The 2023 Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic continues with our fourth game of the day on the final day. Here with my partner, Eric Willowite. I'm Chris Rouse. And Eric, it's the Niles North Vikings taking on the Maine South Hawks in our final consolation game before we get to placement matchups with the consolation final.
Yeah, each team coming in with one win, so they're 1-2 as they go into this matchup. For Maine South, they defeated Lane Tech in the opening day, and you said that was a little bit of a controversial finish there. That was their only win. Then they lost to Oswego East, and then the host school, Hinsdale Central. For Niles North, they got an opening win against Morgan Park, and then dropped a tough one to Marion Catholic, which, hey, nothing wrong with that. And then they also lost to Rockford Auburn as well, as Marion Catholic is in the championship game.
And for Maine South, you mentioned the win earlier in the tournament. They did win, a bit of controversy due to the technical fouls against Lane Tech. But one thing about Maine South, this is a resilient team. Lane Tech tried to play the zone against them. Maine South was able to absolutely shoot Lane Tech out of the zone in that ball game.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that you're going to see from this Maine South team. Paniotis Sodas, and then Tyler Sierra.
Saturday game at the Proviso.
So providing the most of the offense there for Maine South. And then for Niles North, it's kind of spread around. You have three players in double figures.
And right now, Maine South in their black uniforms with red numbers with white letters, getting ready to be introduced. And here are the starting lineups first for Colin Wayman's Maine South Hawks. Number 11, Tyler Sierra. Number 12, Paniotis Sotos. Number 13, Tommy Baradimas. Number 21, Ethan De La Navarra. At number 24, Matthew Yadger, rounding out the starting five for Colin Wayman. Tyler Sierra, he's been huge in this tournament for Maine South. He was huge a year ago as their leading point man. Meanwhile, for Niles North, Glenn Olson in his 15th season, going up against a second-year head coach, his former assistant, Colin Wayman.
Like that.
And Glenn Olson will now send out this starting five, which will be introduced right below us. Number 1, the fiery Reed Olson. Number 4, Dylan Lamb. Number 11, Philip Gazina. Number 12, Jaden Medina. And number 21, Hunter Galrin rounds out the starting five for the Niles North Vikings in white uniforms with purple stripes, black stripes all on the belt and on the ends of the uniform, and white letters with purple trim. So white uniform with white numbers and letters, but the trim will help us see it here.
So you've been here from some of the previous days too. Is Chatham coming off the bench?
It appears that Chatham would be coming off the bench today, but I'm looking down at the Niles North bench.
I don't see a number 3.
I do not see number 3, Caden Chatham, who has been huge for the Vikings in this tournament, Eric. I know you were pointing him out in our pregame talk.
That's a big loss.
That is.
For Niles North.
Caden Chatham gives them a lot of size. He's 6'2", 160-pound junior. Had 20 points in the game the other day, despite the loss against Marion Catholic. But it looks like Niles North will be without number 3 for this one. I was wondering what was going on when I didn't see him in the lineup. Jaden Medina actually getting his first start of the tournament in place of Chatham.
Yeah, Chatham was averaging 16.3 points per game, 11.3 rebounds per game, shooting .429 from 3. So that is a big loss for Niles North, but they do have 2 other players in double figures in Hunter Gowron and Yaris Irby.
Niles North going right to left, Maine South left to right. Niles North on offense, ball on the wing with Reed Olson. Reed Olson had a technical foul earlier in the tournament and a well-contested game when they took on Marion Catholic. Here's Garwin down on the low block. We've seen a few dunks out of him. He feeds Lamb for the assistant side. 2-0 Niles North. Into the front court for the Maine South Hawks. Tyler Sierra swings to the left wing to Ethan De La Navarra. Up top to Paniotis Sotos. Crowd is actually kind of emptied out here after the Lane Tech crowd left a lot of green for that last game. Not quite as many people representing these two schools. North versus South, Maine South, Niles North. Says South on the Maine South jerseys, North on the Niles North jerseys. Here's Sotos on the drive, spins in traffic, kicks it back to Sierra. 3 on the way for Sierra, off the rim, rebounded by Niles North as Reed Olson gets it.
Just as the shot clock had expired.
6:47 to go in the first quarter. Olson feeds it down low to Garin, who lays it off the rim and bounced out. Rebounded again by Garin. He goes up, got the roll that time.
Good job by Gowron on the follow-up. 4-0 lead for Niles North here.
Gowron on the board. Quick three from Maine South. That's off the rim for Barrett-Emis. Rebounded by Olsen. Gowron, right left step. Euro to the basket. Left-hand layup, no good as everybody hit the floor. And a steal for Lamb on a bad bounce pass. Actually, it wasn't Lamb. That was Medina. And Medina gave it right back. Here's Sierra. Looking to Sotos. To the basket. And a foul on Reed Olsen. I don't really know what he's arguing. That was clearly all hand.
Yep. Yeah, he has that look of disbelief here, but he was whistled for the foul.
He was about to run out of the gym. If that security guard wasn't here, I think he'd still be on his way back. But now it'll send Sotos to the free throw line as the Maine South Hawks look to get on the board. Park Ridge, Illinois representatives in this tournament, the Maine South Hawks, as Sotos hits the first.
Shout out to Ryan Fahey.
Yes, Ryan Fahey, one of our former colleagues.
That's right.
Talked to Coach Colin Wayman. I asked him, do you remember Ryan Fahey? He said, his name sounds familiar, but not really. Rockstar Fahey. Sort of.
Sorry, Ryan. Sorry, Ryan.
Now here is Olsen pushing into the front court for Niles North. Hands it off to Medina. Medina to Gazina. And back to him. Gowron up top. Hands it off to Reed Olsen. Olsen swinging it around. And right back to him. Outside of Hinsdale Central, I think these two teams might have had the easiest route traveling here to Hinsdale Central. As now Maine South coming out of Park Ridge, not too far from here. And, of course, Niles North, quick trip from the Edens to the Stevenson, depending on the time of day, of course. And now here's the pass of the quarter. Sierra, corner three. Cash it in for Tyler Sierra.
I liked how Maine South worked that ball around and get to the three at the perimeter.
Sierra with his first three of the game. Gazina hesitated, and it took him out of his rhythm. He had two open looks, couldn't let it fly. Calling for a screen from Gowron. Nice roll by Gowron. Here's Medina. Got a man in the air. And they'll reset with the Vikings with 13 on the shot clock. Gowron on the feed and a reach-in foul on Yadger, reaching in, trying to knock the ball down.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Chris, but I have this urgent need to color in the numbers for Niles North.
I do too. I have to be honest. I was surprised when I saw the white numbers on the white jersey. As here's Gowron who spins in traffic. Left hand floater, good for Gowron.
Good work there by Gowron. But yeah, those need to be darkened in a little bit for announcers
and
for officials.
All right, thank goodness this is indoor, because if this was football, this would be terrible.
Oh God, football, soccer, you name it.
Now here's a three on the way from Barrett-Emis off the rim. Rebounded briefly by Olsen, but he lost it out of bounds trying to secure it.
Yeah, he had one hand on it, but unfortunately the hand was going towards the baseline and just wasn't able to get the second hand around it to recover.
Inbound now for Maine South to the right of their offensive goal. Sierra lobs it in high into the air, and it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Maine South. He was trying to feed Della Navarre. It was knocked away by Gowron. Ethan Della Navarre, number 21 for Maine South. He, Sotos, and Sierra. I remember, and actually Barrett-Emis for that matter. I remember all four of them having solid performances a year ago for this team in the tournament and doing the same this year. Tyler Sierra, a bit of a number change. He was 22 last year. He cut it in half this year to 11. Sierra hands it off to Barrett-Emis. Floater off the rim. Rebounded inside by Niles North. It's Reed Olsen pushing up the court. He hits Gazina to Johnny Lamb. Excuse me, Dylan Lamb. Lamb inside. Listed off the rim. Tap right back to Dylan Lamb. Gowron. Oh, he was wide open. He was wide open, and Panayota Soda standing behind him forced him to give it up. He took it to the basket and drew a foul.
He was fortunate to draw a foul there because he didn't know what to do. He was that wide open. He's like, well, do I shoot? Do I drive? Do I shoot? Do I drive? He decided to drive. And then he got a foul as he put up the shot attempt.
Gowron to go to the line. Gowron already in the game has 4 of the 6 for Niles North. 5 of the 7. 6'6", 190-pound junior. We've seen him throw down some incredible dunks in this tournament thus far. And hopefully, if Niles North is back in this tournament next year, might see his senior season. And Gowron hits that one. Gowron has 6 of the 9 for Niles North as they lead it. Or excuse me, 6 of the 8, make it 8-5. Yadger Over to Sierra. Sierra, nice pass down low as they had a nice pin down to leave a man open, but they couldn't score with Dalen Navarre missing the layup.
Yeah, that was an easy layup. He just was unable to convert there.
Yaris Irby did not start this game, and he's been an offensive spark plug for Niles North in this tournament. He's in the game now, number 24 in white. Garin, however, 21 in white, lays it in for 2. He's got 8.
It's the Hunter Gowron show right now for Niles North.
10-5 North over Maine South with 3:32 to go in the quarter. Pass to the corner. Soto's for 3. Still not on the board. Rebounded by Yaris Irby. Irby with that breakneck speed he's been playing with the entire tournament. Finding a man in the corner. Gazina for 3. Off the rim. Rebounded high by Dela Navarre for Maine South. Dela Navarre into the front court. Hands it off to Sierra. Right hand layup around Garin and the foul. Numerical counterpart Gazina as he fouls Sierra.
That was a great drive by Sierra and then able to draw the foul on the back end there.
First foul goes against Gazina. Meanwhile, Medina will come in. So Jada Medina will replace Philip Gazina. A couple of subs here for Maine South. As now we will get Sierra back to the free throw line. Zach Plate into the ball game now. And Alex Mudashevsky in it for the first time. Sierra in and out. 10-7 our score in favor of Niles North as Irby has it in the Niles North right corner. He gives it to Dylan Land. Right hand layup for 2 is good from the right block. And then a turnover by Maine South as Matashevsky stepped over the inbound line trying to get the ball in, and he gives it back to Niles North. Jake Slatke in for the first time for Maine South. Sierra out of the game as Colin Wayman having some words with his point guard.
So I'm a little confused. I'm looking at the team fouls. They got 1 team foul for Niles North, but they got players with 2 fouls, 1 each.
And now I think they got to fix that on the board.
Yeah, maybe they switch the other way around.
Yeah, now Irby gets fouled. That's 2 on Dela Navarre. So now Irby will go to the free throw line. Ball in the air for Yaris. Irby good. Makes it 13-7 Niles North. Tyler Sierra, after about a 5-second rest, comes back in. You replace Dela Navarre. When we get into tournaments, I like teams that keep the rotation short. 8 or 9 guy rotation for Maine South.
Yeah. Well, they don't have a very deep roster to begin with, too.
They got 6 guys over there in black shirts that'll come off the bench. And even some of the guys they've used early here, like Matashevsky, we haven't seen much of in the tournament. And there's a rebound by Sierra. Sierra over to the aforementioned Alex Matashevsky. Plate. Corner 3 for Maine South, missed by Slatke. Rebounded by Reed Olsen. Olsen to Irby. Nice feed. Irby to Lamb. Right angle to the left block. Layup good for 2 for Lamb.
That was a great feed by Irby, getting it over to Lamb. Like you said, he's lightning quick, even with the passes, too. And that had some authority on it.
That was a 2-hand chest pass, but he zipped that thing in to Lamb, who laid it in.
Yep.
Sierra got in the air like he wanted to throw up a floater from the left elbow. Instead, he hit Plate in the left corner. Sierra used the out-of-bounds line to get the ball. Sierra kicks it across the plate. Plate to the basket. Left-hand layup. Left it long off the right of the rim. Rebound inside for Maine South. No good as Slatke missed short. And a kick out to Olsen. Here comes Niles North into the front court with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Olsen to the basket. Stopped on the right block. Turnaround jumper. Nice shot. Reed Olsen for 2.
That was a pretty basket. Then hustling back on defense. Fronting Sotos.
First field goal for Olsen. He's got 3 in the game. And then on the other end, he'll pick up a foul. As now, so that's the second foul on Reed Olsen, and Colin Wayman will take a timeout. There's exactly 1 minute remaining in this first quarter. Maine South with a 10-point lead, 17-7. And Eric, this game still seems like it's a long filling out process, at least for the Maine South Hawks.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, they're trailing by 10 as it is, but they're going to have to figure out how to generate some offense right now, especially after Irby jumped into this game there. Niles North has really stepped up their offensive effort, getting some transition baskets there. And then Niles North very quick on the D as well. So Maine South has their work cut out for them. It's time to start, stop the feel out process and get some results.
We were wondering how Niles North would come out without Caden Chatham, but it's really been the Hunter Gowron show.
Yes.
And as of late, Dylan Lamb started to get it going as well.
He did. Gowron, though, had the team's first 8 out of their first 10 points to get them going here. He was just scoring at will. And then on the Maine South side, Soto's, I think he's still scoreless at this point, if I'm not mistaken.
You are yeah, he does have 2. I was going to say correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say he was correct, but I think he got the free throws earlier in the game if I'm counting that out.
Okay.
Because Tyler Sierra has the other 5. So Soto's, Soto's had the 2 free throws and no field goals for Paniata Sotos, who has been a huge offensive weapon for Maine South, walking onto the court now. And it'll be a Maine South inbound to the right of the basket with Tyler Sierra to trigger it in here. Minute 47 to go. They lob it in and a whistle.
Quick foul.
Matashevsky was the target of the pass. The foul was on a reach in from Niles North. Wow, foul on Maine South.
Fouls at number 20, Slade. That's his first.
As Zach Plate gets called for a hold on that inbound pass to turn it over to Niles North. I like how the official quieted everyone down to say, no, we're going the other way.
Okay, then.
Yaris Irby over to Reed Olson. In for the first time for Niles North is number 25, Daryl Toney. He sets the screen high left for Olson. Olson, top of the key 3 from 24 off the rim. Run down by Lamb for Maine South. Irby, left angle 3. Cash it in, Yaris Irby.
Unfortunately, Maine South could not corral that rebound. And they got the ball over to Irby, and he didn't hesitate putting up that 3.
Colin Wayman immediately looked at 3 guys on his bench, said, get in there, go, I need you.
Yeah.
And now an offensive foul. And Coach, I just heard Coach Wayman say, this is ridiculous. He looked at the 3 guys he's putting in the game, and he needs a change. Della Navarre, Perdimas, and Yadger, all 3 starters back in, replacing the reserves.
He is not happy.
You can understand why.
Yep.
Like, Plate picked up a foul on an inbound play, and then Matashevsky missed a layup as well as picked up a foul. And now here's Irby. Tried to zip an underhand pass to Toney, and now almost a turnover in the backcourt. With Dela Navarre hitting Barrett Emus in the shoulder, but he was able to run it down, was Ethan Dela Navarre.
South needs to get something here.
Yadger feeding Sierra, right-hand layup. Got everything but the twine. Rebounded by Niles North. Vikings into the front court. Final 37 seconds of the quarter. Olsen top of the key. Guarded by Sodas as he dribbles to the right wing. Irby passes up top to Lamb off the handoff. Lamb, left elbow jumper. Good for Lamb. Dylan Lamb, that's pure. 22-7 our score. Lamb now with 6 in the game. He actually poked it away from Sierra as he came across the timeline. 15 seconds to go in the quarter. 22-7 Niles North. Baradimas up top to Soto. That's the best look he's had so far, but he couldn't do anything with it. Rebounded by Irby with 6 seconds.
Nobody there for the rebound, too. It's just 3 white jerseys.
2 seconds to go. Irby, right angle, top of the key. He beat the horn, but he couldn't get it to go. And at the end of 1, the Niles North Vikings lead the Maine South Hawks 22-7. Let's see what Colin Wayman does to adjust in the second quarter as Maine South looks to rally back on SportsTownChicago.com.
Our everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and Windy City News Radio.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
Fourth and final day of the 2023 Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic. Getting ready to begin the second quarter of our final consolation matchup of the day before we go to the consolation championship. 22-7. Niles North leading Maine South. Chris Rouse, Eric Willowhite. Eric, Maine South down 15. How can they adjust in the second quarter?
Well, they're going to have to figure out how to work through that defensive pressure they're getting from Niles North. It's just they're so quick on the ball right now that Maine South is having a hard time generating their offense. They have to figure that out first. Otherwise, it's going to be more of the same.
Tyler Sierra to inbound to start the second quarter for Maine South as they continue to go left to right. Niles North obviously going the opposite direction. That'd be interesting if they were going to the same basket. Here's Sotos.
Half-court game today.
Over to Baradimas. Baradimas jumper off the rim, rebounded by Reed Olson. Here's Niles North pushing the other way. Lamb back to Irby. Over to Medina, wide open three. Couldn't knock it down. Rebounded by Baradimas. Ahead of the pack to De La Navarre. Extra pass, a little late on the extra pass. He made the catch, and if he would have got rid of it immediately, would have hit Sotos for the layup. Instead, ball deflected out of bounds.
Likewise, good job there by Medina getting a hand on that one to deflect it out of bounds. How about Irby, though, on that pass on the other end? Another missile. He doesn't get cheated.
Here's a three from Sotos. Missed that, and Irby gets the rebound. I mean, Mr. Everywhere here in this game is Yaris Irby. Yet to score is Yaris Irby. Actually, take that back. He does have three.
Yeah.
He passes over to Lamb. Feeds it down low to Godwin. Oh, welcome back, Hunter Godwin. He missed it, but he got the rebound and scores again. 12 in the game from 21. Meanwhile, Niles North's 12. Medina guarding Sierra. Here's Yadger. It's 24-7 Niles North with a 17-point edge. De La Navarre. Over to Baradimas, left angle. Guarded by Lamb. Over to that left corner, Sierra. He faked right, went left. Bounce pass had not enough air underneath it, stolen away by North. Here's Lamb to the basket. Right-hand layup with a hurry, and it's good for two.
They're just getting outworked. Now we're going to get a timeout. Maine South. Colin Wayman just head beside himself right now.
And he was upset in that first quarter. He was saying, this is ridiculous. When he went to the bench, he thought his reserves would be able to spare his starters some minutes. But that has not been the case. It's been all Niles North since Maine South went to the reserves.
Yeah, it's 22-7 when we head into the second quarter, and it's just been Niles North adding a pair of baskets to make it 26-7. And the early timeout being called by Colin Wayman. They just don't have a solution. They don't know where to go offensively right now.
And you're right. They don't have a solution for Godwin on the other end.
No,
He's
they
just
don't.
Way too big down low. And the minutes that Colin Wayman got out of his reserves clearly didn't make him happy. He immediately pulled the three guys out.
Right.
And he was looking at his starters. He said, this is ridiculous. We're just giving up way too much size inside.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure something out. But again, wherever they're moving the ball, they're covered. They're not finding an open look. And then when they do, Sotos hasn't been able to convert on any of his threes so far, so that's not helping either.
I'm looking at the Maine South bench. Tommy Baradimas is not in the game, but throughout the timeout, he was standing in that Niles North corner in front of the Maine South bench, basically practicing his shot. So it looks like Maine South, they're trying to get some guys that can get some rhythm on the ball here as they try to rally back in this first half.
They're definitely going to need that.
Still to come. 3:45 following the conclusion of this one. Our consolation final, we said this is the final consolation game, meaning this will be the only game this is the last game that has no placement. Yeah. The next game will be for 8th place in the tournament. That'll be Stevenson, the Patriots, versus the Lincoln Way Central Knights, right here on SportsTownChicago.com.
Or 7th, actually, I think, right? 7, 5, 3.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. 7th. Right. The loser gets 8th place.
That's right.
Right. Two teams got to play in the game. 7th place.
You get nothing.
Right. Right. I'm sorry. 7th place game coming up next. And it'll go 7th, 5th, 3rd, and championship to wrap us up. So technically it is the 8th place game just for the other team.
Right. That's fair. I'll go with that.
It's now a Reed Olson into the front court. That's an 8th place pass stolen by Maine South. And the ball knocked away. Sierra guarded by Lamb. Left-handed dribble. I like those left-handed ball handlers. Here's Sierra.
Couldn't imagine why.
Used to be a left-handed guy myself when I used to actually hoop. Here's Sierra on the drive. Kicks it to the corner. Down low. Right-hand layup, no good for De La Navarre. Stayed with it, guys. Goes back up and in. That ends a lengthy scoring drive for the Hawks.
It definitely did. Plus, that was on Gowron's offside, so he was able to follow up his miss and put it back in.
Yaris Irby with the ball, 5:40 to go in the half. Niles North with a chance to go up 20 if they can get a 3 here. And now here's Medina. Medina splits a double team, stops right in the middle of the paint. Dylan Lamb left corner had space, didn't shoot it, but he drew a foul on Sierra with the body. I'm looking at the Niles North benches. The assistant coaches are saying, why are we not shooting here? They had about 3 open looks, and they passed out of them all. A little too unselfish as Dylan Lamb goes to the bench. Coach Olsen telling him good job as number 4 gets his first breather of the game. Gazina, Olsen, wide open 3, cashing in for Reed Olsen.
That's a nice set play right off the inbound. Olsen able to convert.
Beautiful pin down for Olsen, which means they set a screen on his man. He came from the corner to the angle and hit the shot. Sierra, top of the key. Over to Della Navarre. Here's Yadger. Della Navarre, right angle. Whole lot of nothing from Maine South. Just back and forth passing, angle to angle. Sierra, left corner 3. There's something for you. Knock down the 3, Tyler Sierra.
Yeah, they definitely can use that.
Reed Olsen into the front court as Maine South makes the game 29-12, but Niles North again up 17 and with the ball. 4:45 and counting. Yaris Irby, step back jumper for 3. Looked good, but he couldn't get the shot. Hunter Garwin, another layup. 14 for Garwin.
Too easy, too easy.
19-point lead for North, and a reach-in foul. That'll be Medina on the backside.
Foul on number 12, Jaden Medina, that's his first.
So Medina picks up his first pair of subs here for Maine South. Tommy Baradim is coming back in. I mentioned how he was working on his jump shot during that timeout or practicing it. And now Mike Mizwicki in for the first time for Maine South. Here's Sotos, wide open 3. Couldn't get it to go. That's the man Maine South needs to get going. Irby to the basket. Lost the ball. Dylan Navarre had a hand on it, and it went right through Irby's legs out of bounds. I have to be honest, I was just waiting on the official to make the call at that point. The ball rolled. Looked like both players touched it, but it goes off Maine South.
Yeah, you mentioned Sotos being cold. That's the issue, is when your primary scorer isn't scoring.
Yep.
You're not getting anything secondarily.
And we saw that in the Morgan Park game that just concluded where Jacque Lewis and Kelly, not a lot of offense in that game.
Foul on number 21, Ethan DeLavar, that's his 3rd personal foul.
Dylan Navarre picking up his 3rd, and that's just going to continue to make this an uphill battle for the Maine South Hawks. Another one of their key players in foul trouble. He's got more fouls than points right now. 2 points, 3 fouls. Irby hits the free throw. Irby does not have that problem. 4 points, yet to pick up a foul in the game. Looking for 5 with the free throw. 20-point lead for Niles North. Neither of these teams will place in this tournament. But still a chance for one final good game for both teams here, even though it's been rough for Maine South. 33-12, our score. Ooh. Offensive foul on Maine South, as that was Slatke who tried to back down on Olsen, and an offensive foul.
Foul on number 23, Jack Slatke, his first.
Colin Wayman upset with that call. He thought that was a clear foul. There was a little bit of a sell job there. Yeah. Official bought it, though.
That happens sometimes.
As my good buddy Sam Brief says, transaction. Here's Irby. Irby to the basket. Right-hand floater. Rebounded by Garin. And a whistle. Garin got held on the wrist. Colin Wayman out near the free throw line. Like you said, Eric, besides himself
he
at
really
his team.
Is. This is not how he wanted to close out the tournament, right?
And also, Colin Wayman, I have to be honest, I haven't seen him go at his own team like this in the tournament. And now we're going to get a technical foul. Is it a technical foul or no? I think it's the penalty on the foul. So we'll get 2 shots here for Garin. Or 1 and 1 for Garin.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, they're going to give him 2. So 2 shots.
2. Yeah. All right.
It's not a technical because the free throw line would be abandoned. And Garin hits the first. 34-12 Niles North. 3:41 to go in the half. It's been all Vikings here. And our final consolation matchup of the day before we go to the consolation final. to go to our placement games of the day. We've got it all for you on SportsTownChicago.com. We'll have all 32. I mean, we've had the previous 26. Why stop here?
That's right.
Here's Sierra. Sierra, a bit of a lazy pass. It was recovered by Maine South. Leads to a 3, and it's cashed in by Slatke.
Well, they need buckets of all shapes and sizes, so it was a welcome three-pointer for the Hawks.
35-15 is our 28th game of the tournament. Here's Paniatos Sotos into the front court. Sotos backing down, floats one up in traffic and a foul with 3:01 to go in the half.
Sotos looked determined to take that one all the way to he wasn't thinking pass at all there.
And you could tell he was determined when he backed down. His back was to the basket, and all he did was turn, and he immediately floated it up.
Yep.
Didn't even look for a teammate there.
Able to draw the foul.
Sotos has 2 points. This is the same spot he got those 2 points. Make it 3. He's been their leading scorer throughout the tournament, but he's been unable to get a field goal in this game today. Looking to get the equivalent of 2 field goals. I think I jinxed him. Out of bounds. And actually we'll get a whistle. It's a foul against Maine South. And that will go against Ms. Wiki.
Number 34, Ms. Wiki is second.
Second on Mike Mizwicki. And that's really tough for Maine South. The guys at the back of the bench. Fouls in unproductive minutes in this first half.
Yeah, it does not help their cause right now as they are facing an uphill battle.
Coach Colin Wayman having an intense conversation with one of the officials. Trying to work those officials, get them to recognize some of the fouls he wants down there. As now Garwin hits the first. Garwin has 16 in the ball game. He's got as many as his opponent right now. It's 36-16.
He's smooth from the free throw line, too. Like his shot.
He looked to make it 17. And right now, Hunter Garwin by himself is defeating Maine South, 17-16. Javion Starwood of Oswego East did that the other night, actually, at one point in the first half, where he was outscoring Maine South himself. So Maine South, again, getting outscored by one guy. Here's Tyler Sierra. Over to Paniatos Sotos. To the basket. Lays it up over Garwin. And Garwin with a bit of a spill. Did he exaggerate that?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. It looked very dramatic.
Right, I couldn't tell if he was exaggerating or he really fell. I mean, he is a big guy.
Yeah.
So that will be a bit of a slow timber for him. But good to see Garwin back to his feet.
Yeah. Now a little grin over there.
Sotos back to the line. Missed again. Split a pair. He was perfect on his first trip. Split a pair last time. And in order to break even, to look to hit this second free throw. 37-16, 2:43 to go in the half. Sotos again, ball in the air. All net. 4 for Paniatos Sotos. All 4 of his points at the line, where he is 4 for 6 today. Lamb doubled in the backcourt and a foul. That's a tough break.
Wow.
Sotos had his hand out to get the ball, and it was sort of where Lamb kind of just jerked his head.
He moved into it.
Yeah,
right.
he moved into the hand. Like, that's a tough break. Sotos had his hand out first and actually had contact with the ball. It was just Lamb snapping his head into the hand, and now Lamb will go to the line. See Colin Wayman having words with one of the officials.
Again.
Yeah, again. I think we might be saying that the rest of the way. The way this one's going is now Lamb hits the first. Dylan Lamb up to 9. And if he hits this one, he'll be the second Viking player in double figures. Garwin has 17 himself. And our score is 38-17, Niles North over Maine South. Watching Pierre Stevenson, he is literally hopping on one leg across the way out of the building here from Morgan Park. The player who hurt his ankle.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. But I like the resiliency, though. He's hopping like it's nothing. He's getting out of here. Now here's Tyler Sierra. 39-17. Lamb with 10 in the game now. Following those free throws. Yadger to Sotos. Right elbow jumper. Off the rim. It's a tough game for Maine South. Can't even get the good looks to go.
No, and then it's one and done as well.
Lamb to Irby. That ball deflected away. Great job from Barrett-Emus to run it down. Sotos with his first field goal of the game. It comes with 2:05 in the half.
He'll take it any way, shape, or form. He needed something to fall from the field.
Soto's now with 6 in the ball game. I know on the board it says 4, but he's got 4 free throws made. Here's Reed Olsen. Olsen over to Medina. Medina right angle. To the free throw line to Lamb. Lamb came in from the left angle to the right. Block on the handoff. Back to Godwin at the free throw line. He stopped at the mid-high post. Turnaround jumper off the rim. And a foul as Lamb and Medina were there. And who's going to get the foul? Lamb or Medina? It'll be Lamb. As they both kind of ran into Jack Slatke over there.
2 on Lamb.
100 seconds to go in the half. 1:40 if you can't count to 100 that quick. Here's Tyler Sierra.
Thanks for spelling that. I do have trouble with that.
Makes it easy with the 1:30 being 90 seconds. Just add 10. Here's Sotos over to Sierra. 3 on the way. In for Tyler Sierra. Still time for Maine South. I mean, they're only down 17 in the second quarter. Yaris Irby. Turnaround jumper. Off the mark. Rebounded by Sierra. Now, this is how Maine South gets back into games. Missed jump shots, 1 and done. Let's see if they can score. Sierra guarded by Lamb. Lamb has 2 fouls, yet he's still taking a poke at the ball. Baradimas going at Medina. Couldn't quite get it with the left-hand floater in the lane.
Yeah, he just left it just short. That would have been a nice basket after a stop on the other end.
Olsen to Irby, right elbow. Over to the right corner to Medina. He dribbles inside the arc, back up top to Olsen. Olsen at 25 feet. Head of steam to the basket. Right hand layup off the glass for 2.
That was a pretty lay off the glass by Olsen.
41-22. Quick 3 from Soto. Short off the rim. Rebounded by Slatke and the foul for Maine South. 3 the hard way for the Hawks. Foul on Garin. That foul on Garin. They said his first, but in the building, he's on the board. They say he's got 2.
Yeah.
They've been a little off with the stats because I know Soto's has 6 points. They still says 4.
Yeah.
As now Slatke completes the 3-point play, 41-25. 33.5 seconds to go in the half. Irby to Olsen. Cross court to Medina. That should be a shot. There it is. Lamb, right hand layup from the right block. Beautiful press break by Niles North.
Yeah, that was textbook.
43-25. Sierra across the timeline. And it's likely to be the final shot of the half. Sierra guarded chest to chest by Lamb. He's driving on him to the left elbow. Past the Baradimas left corner. Left baseline jumper off the right of the rim. Rebounded on the left of the rim by Medina. Here's Lamb with 3. Up the court. Stolen by Sotos with 1. He's shot off to beat the horn. Misses everything. And at the half, the Niles North Vikings lead the Maine South Hawks 43-25. Eric, final first half thoughts before we go to break.
It's just an impressive performance by Niles North. Again, Hunter Cowron just coming out and being dominating there in that first half. But he wasn't the only story, too. But, again, just kind of imposing his will at different parts of this game. First quarter, second quarter, and they're going away with a big lead.
This game is not over by any means for Maine South. They have a whole nother half to try to rally back from 18 down. 43-25, Niles North over Maine South. Halftime on SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Heck, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
Oh, howdy, folks. Clem, the old prospector here to tell you how you can strike it rich. You don't even need to pick up a shovel.
Hey, boss, he ain't working.
All you need is a giant food store bonus card to start saving big with big discounts every day.
That's what I'm talking about.
So come on in here to Giant today and get your bonus card. And don't forget to tell them Clem sent you. Yeah!
Hey, I'm Jesus Mauricio. Be sure to tune in every Friday to listen to Zeus Off the Bat, a baseball talk show from 1 to 2 p.m., where I'll be discussing and updating you on all things about baseball. News, predictions, reactions, and more about the Cubs, Sox, and everything across the league. Happens every Friday at 1 p.m. right here on SportsTownChicago.com. Don't forget to follow and share our Twitter and Instagram with your friends at Zeus Off the Bat. Zeus Off the Bat.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Yeah! Howdy, folks. Clem, the old prospector here to tell you how you can strike it rich. You don't even need to pick up a shovel.
Hey, boss, he ain't working.
All you need is a giant food store bonus card to start saving big with big discounts every day.
That's what I'm talking about.
So come on in here to Giant today and get your bonus card. And don't forget to tell them Clem sent you. Yeah!
Hot dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's hot dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just a small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com, bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just a small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com, bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com. Bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com. Bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com. Bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
43-25 our score at the half as the Niles North Vikings lead the Maine South Hawks in our final consolation game of the day before we get to placement matchups, beginning with the 7th place consolation final coming up next between the Stevenson Patriots and Lincoln Way Central Knights. He's Eric Willowite. I'm Chris Rouse. And Eric, Niles North led by 2 scores in double figures, Hunter Galrin and Dylan Lamb. What can Maine South do to come back?
Well, I mean, they're going to have to generate some quick offense, but then they're going to have to, more importantly, get some defensive stops here as well. They've been cold offensively, and then likewise, they've been letting Niles North get whatever they needed. So they're going to have to step up the defensive effort here, clamp down on Gowron as best as possible, but they're going to have to work around their offense, hit some things behind the arc, just get some quick scores to build some confidence at this point, right?
Now, Colin Wayman, the head coach of Maine South, he's an emotional guy.
Yep.
And throughout this tournament, I haven't seen him this upset at his own team the way he was in that first half. A little more calm now as they're on the bench. But I wonder, what do you think was the point of emphasis in that halftime break?
I think not letting it easy buckets.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you're cold offensively, that's one thing. But not being able to work defensively, that's just hustle, effort, and being where you're supposed to be.
And Maine South and Tyler Sierra and Yaris Irby having some words here on the near side. Or actually, no, they weren't having words. The official was trying to get the attention of the other official.
All right.
Basically say, wait, we are going the right way, right? So
that helps.
Niles North in their white uniforms going left to right. Maine South in their black uniforms, right to left. Here's Reed Olsen to start off the second half, rushed into the front court. Garwin, a free throw line jumper in and out. Man, he's going to get us started early in the second half.
Waste no time.
All right, that was a 13-second possession. Remember, 8-minute quarters
Oh,
and a foul.
3 players converge, and we have one of the Maine South players hit the deck hard. He's back on his feet, but he's a little shaken up. That's Yadger.
Yeah, that's Yager, and he's now doing with Reed Olson. Reed Olson picked up the foul. Reed Olson was taking on Marion Catholic, and he got hit in the nose just like that. And now Yager holding his nose. He's since stopped and posted up down low. Sotos into Sierra. Sierra across the timeline at 7:38 in the third. Passes over to Yager. Hands it off to Sotos, top of the key. Sotos on the curl. Pass to the right corner to Sierra. 3 off the left of the rim and over the backboard, out of bounds. Niles North ball with 7:29 to go in the third. 31 seconds in. Here's Niles North with their second possession. Back up top to Olsen after he gave it away to Gazina quickly. Olsen stops at the free throw line. 1-foot turnaround jumper. Dirk Nowitzki-esque. Couldn't get it to go. Sierra up to Baradimas. Baradimas driving baseline. Right-hand layup from the left block. No good. Rebounded by Olsen. Shot went over the basket on that floater. Hard drive by Gazina, and he's blocked by Baradimas, but a foul as Baradimas got him on the body.
Yeah, looked good initially there, but as you said, body foul.
Yeah, like you said, I thought it was clean when he blocked it. Must have got him on the follow through. As now Gazina go to the line. Gazina with only 2 points in the ball game to this point. Add one, no, missed it. (43-25) Niles North with the lead. 6:57 to go in the third. Gazina with 1 dribble, 2 dribbles. Eyes the basket, ball in the air. Got that one to go clean. 44-25. 6:55 and counting to go in the third. Sierra across the timeline from Maine South, middle of the floor. Picks up his dribble, feeding Yadger on the right elbow. He had a man go back door, but he went to Sierra. Yadger, right angle 2. Or is it a 3? They do give him the 3. Yeah, they do give him the 3. Makes it 44-28.
If you're going to get your first basket at half, that's a good way to do it.
Olsen down low to Irby. Now this is going to be the matchup I want to see. Irby versus Sierra. Woo. Cross-court pass to Lamb. He zipped that pass. Feed inside. Lamb to Gorin for the 2-hand slam.
Man. And again, all starting on that blistering pass from Irby cross-court.
Hockey assist for Irby. They don't count that in basketball, though. As now Sierra gets the right-hand layup from the left block. They should, though. I'm a proponent of the hockey assist in basketball.
I agree.
Here's Olsen to Irby. Irby to Olsen. Right corner 3 off the rim. Gorin tried to tap in instead. He missed and goes to Dale Navari for the rebound from Maine South. 46-30 Maine South. Sotos, right block layup. He's fouled by Lamb. I know Lamb didn't like that call, but that actually was a foul. He did swipe him across the off arm, which is unfortunate because other than that, Sotos just missed it.
He did. And I like the fact that Soto's going to the basket, Chris.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not hitting from outside, you got to generate inside. And if you don't make it, you're drawing the attention. You're going to draw the attention of Niles North, and he's heading to the line.
Sotos was 6 in the game, make it 7. All but 2 of his points have come from the free throw line, and the 2 he had was just a layup. He snuck down the floor, got an easy layup.
Yeah. They all count, though.
They all do. They do all count the same, but this has been the leading scorer for Maine South in the tournament.
Yep.
And right now they're down 15. He only has 7. Now 8. 14 the deficit. 46-32 Niles North. Olsen to Gazina. Nice pass up the court to Irby. Irby in a hurry, feeds it to Gorin. Right block layup, no good. Rebounded by Maine South. Yadger. No look pass to Sotos into the right corner. Sotos down the right baseline. Right hand layup, missed everything. Gorin was pulling the rim, but the ball was already over it by that point. Irby to Gorin inside. He was tripped up and a foul as Dale Navari kind of just ran into him. He was trying to get to the spot to block the shot, and their feet got tangled up.
I'm just glad, though, that Gowron, when he hit the deck there, I was worried about him hitting on his head, but he was able to brace his fall a little better there.
Gowron's had a few falls that were interesting. He had the one earlier where he fell kind of slow.
Yeah.
And now this one, he falls here with Dale Navari on his back. Luckily, he didn't get his head hit. Gowron with 19 in the game. 46-32 Niles North with the lead. Gowron looking for 20. There it is.
4 fouls for Della Navari.
That's another key player for Maine South that'll likely spend the rest of this third quarter on the bench. Gowron looking to match his jersey number in point total. And he does that 21 for number 21. 48-32. Niles North by 16. 5:25 and counting as Sierra gets across the timeline. Right angle down to the right block. Stopped on the dime. Turnaround jumper. Got it to go for Sierra.
Nice work from Sierra there. Charged the paint, but Gowron was waiting for him there, so then he went back, did the step back.
Oh, a trap by Maine South. Didn't quite work out as Niles North gets out of it with Olsen. Gazina to Olsen. Olsen actually dropped the pass, so he had to reset. 5 minutes to go in the third. Olsen just holding the ball here at about 34 feet. Screen left from Gowron. Olsen now left-right crossover. Full head of steam. Right-hand layup partially blocked down low. That was Slatke. You got a piece of it. Here's a 2-on-1. Baradimas, no help needed. He laid it up himself. Irby, he conceded the space, basically.
Yes, he did.
He fell back on Sotos on the 2-on-1, and that let Baradimas get the easy lay. 48-36. Maine South doing what you need to do to rally back from down 20 points. Irby, that's a 2. Right angle, got it to go. Yaris Irby.
You get a quick timeout from Coach Olsen for Niles North.
Irby now with 7 in the ball game. And I'm interested here. Olsen is calling the timeout, and his team has the lead. And he is upset at Reed Olsen down to the bench.
Yeah, he really is.
Wow. I was curious. I was wondering why he was upset, why he immediately burnt the timeout. He must not have liked something Reed Olsen did there, as the team has a 14-point lead here in this third quarter, Eric.
Well, I think also the fact that Maine South had whittled down the lead to 12 points, so it's starting to feel getting tight. He was calling that timeout no matter what.
What I'm looking at, I mentioned how Wayman was an assistant of Olsen. What I'm noticing about these two coaches, they like to nip things in the bud before they get too out of control. You notice how Colin Wayman, when he had that stretch with the reserves, kind of let the lead balloon. He said, no. Let's get the starters back in now.
Yep.
And
got that changed up right away.
Yeah, and here with Coach Olsen, he came over to Reed Olsen and said, hey, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, time out. Let's settle down.
Yeah.
Matthew Yodger will resume action on the inbound here with 4:26 to go in the third. Coming up next, the consolation final between the Stevenson Patriots and the Lincoln Way Central Knights. We'll have that for you right here on SportsTownChicago.com. We've got all of the final 4 games of this 4th and final day of the Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic. Ball on the right side of the floor for Maine South, and a foul. Yodger was in the right corner as Yaris Irby fouls his numerical counterpart.
Still in good shape foul-wise. It's only his first.
And then a travel on an inbound. And those type of mistakes, you have to eliminate those down the stretch of a game. You can't get a travel on an inbound play when you're down 14 points.
Yep.
Reed Olsen hands it off to Irby. Irby guarded by Yodger. The 24s meet again. Irby with a few in and out dribbles, got past him. Now he draws the foul as he falls out of bounds on the runner.
He's so tough to defend, though, because you don't know what direction he's going. He can change direction on a dime.
Mm-hmm. And then the court vision is so lethal.
Yeah.
He can drop a dime while also having the ability to drive past you or hit a jump shot.
Yeah, so you don't know what to defend, right?
And also Maine South, while they'll have the height advantage, they'll be giving up the speed. And then have some guys who have the speed, and then Irby just shoot over the top of them.
Yep.
So he can't really figure it out.
Yeah, he's a fun player for sure.
And now,
what do we got here?
I think we got a. Oh, that's a delay of game warning on Wayman of Maine South, which if that is there, but one of the officials told the other is that's their second delay of game warning. And so let's see. So if that's 2 delay of games, that means it'll be a technical foul in the ball here for Niles North. So the lane will be clear. So Irby was going to go to the line anyway, but now he'll get a technical foul shot with the lane abandoned because of the second delay of game of the game. Second delay of game against Maine South, and now Yari Irby back to the line. And he got it.
These are things that Maine South can't afford to have. These you're trying to battle back in this game.
Right, you gotta travel on an inbound play and now a technical foul. You're down 15 in the third quarter. It's starting to look self-inflicted as we saw in that first game, as now Olsen hits the second.
Olsen's hitting the technicals, and then Irby was finishing his fouls, or
yeah, right. Irby,
okay,
right.
okay.
Irby was finishing his second free throw.
Gotcha.
And Olsen got the 2 technical foul shots, and once again, technical foul and the ball here for Niles North.
Yeah.
53-36. 4:03 to go in the game, but as we've seen from Maine South, 17 not necessarily out of it. They rallied back, got it down to 11.
They just have to close strong here in this third quarter.
And usually when I see teams get down 17 in the third, I'd say try to get it to 10 before the fourth.
Yeah.
And just try to play it from there. But Maine South continue to get in their own way.
Then the double whammy is obviously Niles North gets a ball after the technical.
And this could be a 6-point trip. And
wow.
there it is. Medina from downtown. Here's Sotos. Sotos jumper from the corner. That'll get 2 quick ones back, but it's still 18 points. Niles North. Colin Wayman with a timeout. You got to think this is to settle his team down.
Yeah.
3:43 remaining in the third quarter. It looks like Maine South starting to mentally unravel here, but still plenty of time to put it back together. The score in the building says 56-36 in favor of Niles North. Thought that 2 made it 56-38. But nonetheless, yes, yeah. And
yeah.
One of the officials walked to the table. He said, "Where's that 2?" And it is 56-38. 3:43 to go. Lincoln Way Central and Stevenson next in the 7th place consolation championship game. In the 5th place game at 5:15, Rockford Auburn versus Hinsdale Central. Rockford Auburn's played a few good ones in this tournament, going to overtime against Brother Rice on Thursday. And then they blew out Niles North yesterday by 25 after a 2-point win over Stevenson on Wednesday. 3rd place game, Brother Rice versus Oswego East. 2 teams that know a thing or two about being undefeated and losing in this tournament.
Yeah.
And then in the championship, Marion Catholic versus undefeated DePaul Prep. Can Marion Catholic beat another unbeaten team in this tournament? Gazina to the basket. Offensive foul on Sierra. Good job by Sierra. Got to the spot and for a split second stopped, which led to the charge.
Yep, just enough. Came up a little sore looking at his tooth there, but, you take charge.
Coach Olsen for Niles North, he said, you can't be serious. He was moving. It was bang, bang. That split second, he stopped. It was where the contact was made. Sotos over to Beredimus. Here's a move from Slatky. Slatky, left angle. Gave it up to Sotos, who took his spot. Here's a right angle 3 from Beredimus on the way off the front of the rim. He's going to go right back to Beredimus. Top of the key this time. He dribbles inside. Left hand layer from the left block. Missed it, and he's fouled by Gazina as he caught him with all the body.
Yeah, he put the arms up, but that was an easy call for the officials there.
Bit of a hip check. Unfortunate for Gazina because the momentum has to go somewhere, and it went into Beredimus. 3:11 to go in the third. Lengthy third quarter here with all the stoppages and timeouts and officials trying to get some things together with the conferences as Beredimus makes the first. 56-39 the score.
Daryl Toney now checking in.
Yeah, Tony came in briefly in the first half. He returns now with 3:11 in the third, replacing Garin. Beredimus got it to go. 56-40. Niles North with a 16-point lead in the ball with 3:08 to go in the third. Irby to Olsen, to Tony, and now to Irby as they're across the timeline and back to Olsen on the left side of the floor. Beautiful pass. That's a 30-foot pass. Olsen to land for the layup. That was a diagonal pass to the right block, land with the right-hand layup, 58-40.
Yeah, it's not just Irby who can fire those bullets.
Bounce pass, Yager finding Sierra, cutting from the left angle to the left block. Bounce pass right on the money. He cashed him out with the left-hand layup.
That's a good response by Maine South. Now if they can convert that and one, shave another point off their deficit here.
Tyler Sierra with 15 in the game now. Makes it 58-42, Niles North. Maine South still down 16 as their leading scorer to this point in the game. And Sierra is at the line, and he hits the free throw. He's got 16. Irby to Olsen with 2:46 to go here in the third. Olsen dribbling it up the court. across the timeline at 2:43. Dribble handoff to Irby at the 30-foot line. 3 on the way from Irby from 25. He got it. Yaris Irby.
That's filthy.
10 for Irby.
That's a dagger.
Sierra left elbow. No good. Runs down his own rebound until he ran into 3 Niles North players where Lamb came out of the pack with it. It's a 3-on-2. Lamb to Medina. Right corner 3. Off the rim. Irby gets the rebound in the left corner. And up to Lamb at the 30-foot line. And Olsen takes his spot. Olsen now guarded by Sierra, backing up a little bit as he's going to try to get ahead of steam on the drive. Anytime he backs up 2 steps, you know he's about to take it. Here's Irby on the drive. Sierra took it away from him briefly. Ball on the floor. Irby tried to just scoop it out of traffic. He scooped it to Baradimas of Maine South. Baradimas instead throws that one way out of bounds. Might be leaving the Hinsdale Bank Gym. Now they tracked it down. Good job. Good job by those volunteers on the sideline. Coming at that loose ball. 61-43. Niles North back in possession with 1:55.
More coaching going on there from Coach Wayman.
Olsen to Irby. Right wing, he thought about the 3. Now he'll dribble back up top. He's still on the right wing, but he's at about 24 feet. Irby zips a pass to Medina left corner. And Medina tried to drive baseline, cut off by Slatke. Back to Lamb left angle. Ball knocked on the floor right out at the right elbow. Lamb is at the bottom of the pack with Yadger and Tony on top of him. And Maine South would get possession on the held ball as it was Yadger and Lamb on the tie-up. I saw the assistant coaches of Niles North. They told Dylan Lamb, next time you do that, look outside. You had a man. Final 90 seconds of the third quarter. Sierra to Slatke, right angle. Over to Soto's, top of the key, and a foul. That's going to be a foul on Reed Olsen, who absolutely ran right through the screen of Yadger.
That's 4 on Olsen. That's something to pay attention to here as we head into the fourth quarter.
Reed Olsen is looking at his coach, Glenn Olsen. He's saying, I didn't touch him. I mean, he clearly got the foul. He ran through the man on the screen. But that foul on Olsen, like you said, Eric, his 4th, put Yadger at the line.
He's still trying to plead his case over there.
And he hits the first.
He's still.
Olsen was looking at Yaris Irby. He was telling him to get to the free throw line. Irby was talking to Coach Olsen.
Yeah.
But the free throw was made anyway, 61-45 in favor of Niles North. 1:16 to go in the third quarter. Olsen, left-right crossover. Right-hand layup from the right block. Hoop and the harm. What a play by Reed Olsen. One-man show. He's wearing the right number. And Paniata Soto's picking up his second. That's a good way to let that frustration out if you're Reed Olsen.
I was just thinking the same thing. It's like he was determined he was going to score. It's like, all right, you're going to give me for a foul and something like that. I'll show you.
He's got 4 personal fouls. And still in the game here with 1:11 to go in the third. Soto's picked up his second. Olsen looking for point number 12. Got it. 64-45. And with 4 fouls, you have to think he's likely sitting for the rest of this third quarter.
Yep. Yeah, give him a little breather here. Give him a chance to cool down, too, as well.
Philip Gazina in the game. Olsen's been a fiery player all tournament, chirping with the officials and with his coach for that matter. Soto's up to Yadger. Hands it off to Sierra. Sierra right elbow. Dribbles into that right corner. Sierra with a crossover. Left, right to the basket. Right hand layup. What a move by Sierra to elude Tony.
What an individual effort there by Sierra. I thought Tony had him dead to rights on that baseline. He got around him.
Use that smaller size to sort of duck in underneath the arms. Here's Yaris Irby. Top of the key. Right elbow now. He'll shoot one with the left hand short. Rebounded by Yadger. And a foul on Irby as he clearly stuck the thigh out.
Yeah.
And with 37 2/10 of a second, honestly, Eric, with 37 2/10, Maine South still sort of in the same spot they were when we got here. down 17. It's been a lengthy quarter, but nothing's really changed in terms of the differential on the scoreboard.
No, it hasn't. I mean, you convert a pair of 3 throws here, that helps.
That definitely helped, but still 15, even if you go perfect here.
Right. But then you got to get a stop.
And Yadger hits it here to give him 6. And I was just going to say, Godwin's been on the bench for an extended amount of time. That time has come to an end as he's back in there.
Yep. And he's going to give Niles North a good outlet to go to here in the final seconds of the third quarter.
Going to definitely have a number of eyes of the Maine South Hawks on him. Rebound for Maine South as Yadger got the rebound. There was an inadvertent horn, and Maine South got a 3.
So they get 4 points out of that. That's a good transaction for Maine South.
64-51. Reed Olsen into the front court. Now you can hear the Maine South fans getting back into it a little bit here.
They can't foul. They can't foul.
Ran into the corner, back up to Yaris Irby. Irby at 30 feet away from the basket. Now he's at the middle of the court, guarded by Sotos. Irby just dribbling right to left. Now back to the top. Here's Lamb over to Olsen. 4 seconds to go in the quarter. Game clock at 2. Olsen beats the horn. He shot it off the glass, and that ends the third quarter with the Niles North Vikings still leading by 13 points. But the Maine South Hawks gave them all they could handle in that third quarter, Eric.
Yeah, they did. They came back, getting a quick 4-point turnaround there at the end of the quarter, and then holding Niles North a stop on their final possession there. A wild shot put up by Olsen, but Maine South still in this ball game.
We'll go to break, and we'll come back with the fourth quarter. We'll wrap up our consolation matchups, and then we go to placement matchups following this one on the other side on SportsTownChicago.com.
Indeed is the #1 job search user with over 250 million monthly users. Indeed's priority is to help everyone in the job searching process to find a job by uploading 10 new job opportunities every 10 seconds worldwide. With Indeed, you have free access to job searches, resume uploads, and company researches. There are over 10,000 employees at Indeed that pursue to help people find the job they are looking for. They connect with millions of people to new opportunities. Go to Indeed.com and sign up for free and create a resume and let Indeed do the rest to help you on your job search.
Daddy, when you look at me, I could see your wheels turning. About what am I going to be when I grow up? A Major League first baseman? Maybe a point guard for a national champion.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. Far-fetched? Maybe. But did you know the odds of a child being diagnosed with autism are 1 in 166? That's right, 1 in 166. To learn the signs of autism, go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Fourth quarter action here. Game 28 of the Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic. Chris Rouse, Eric Willowite, Eric Niles North up 13, 64-51. We could be headed to an interesting fourth quarter.
Yeah, I like the way they closed out that fourth quarter there, showing some drive to the basket, getting some defensive stops. It's still going to be a tall order, but I think they're in a good position here to at least give Niles North a run for their money.
Now we haven't actually missed that announcement in the building. So I'm not really sure what that was. Now we got the officials having a conference. Something happened with Niles North where one of the officials in so a bench technical foul on Niles North for delay of game.
Was that coming out of the quarter?
Out of the quarter. Coach Glenn Olsen is saying, I've had 25 years in this game. I've never had a delay of game for starting the quarter late.
Yeah.
But he will get a delay of game.
Wow.
So Paniata Sotos will get the 2 free throws. He hit the first. And so Maine South, who desperately needed points, get a free 2 out of it.
Yeah.
Sotos now 10.
Stopped.
Right. And technically, that's not even in a quarter because we didn't even start the quarter yet.
Right.
The wildest thing I've ever seen was a team get an administrative tech and the game started 1-0.
Really?
That was at a team who also wears green that I call a lot of games for, Chicago State.
All right.
So, speaking of green, Stevenson is here, getting ready for their matchup against Lincoln Way Central. I think green and red have provided some of the better matchups of this tournament other than the overtime affairs.
There you go.
Here's Yadger. Hands it off to Sotos. Reach in on Irby and a foul.
That's 2 reach-in fouls he's done there. It's like unnecessary.
7:46 to go in the fourth. Coach Olsen telling his team, stay together. He really seems like he's a little shocked by that technical. He's a little rattled here as we start this fourth quarter. A delay a game because the team got out of the huddle a second late. Yadger over to Sierra. Sierra left-right crossover. Nice shuffle pass inside to Yadger for the lay-in. Nice shovel pass for 2.
And now the deficit single digits, Chris.
Coach Wayman is saying, where's that been the whole game? Nice feed by Sierra. We've got to have those. That's all I'm saying to his assistant coaches. Here's a 3 for Olsen on the way. Cash it in. Reed Olsen, nothing but nylon.
That's a good response from Niles North. You get a 2 on one end, we'll see and raise you with a 3.
Baradim is guarded by Olsen. Sierra left corner. He's got 16, looking for 19. Give it to him. Tyler Sierra cashing it in.
He was trying to draw the foul there too, but he got the 3.
Maine South with the 9. If you're Maine South, you've got to be happy that it's at single digits. They've been down double digits since the second quarter. Olsen, left angle. Anything you can do, I can try to do better. He missed that one. Here's Sierra. Back the other way. Hands it off to Sotos. Long 3. That's short. Baradimas comes up with the board on the baseline. Sierra took Soto's spot. Yadger, left angle, travel.
Got the travel.
He caught the ball, had too much momentum, and both feet almost came from under him as he slid left.
I think the officials are on to Olsen, though. Like, after every shot, he's trying to fake that he's fouled.
Yeah.
You know, it's just they're not buying what he's selling right now.
Plays with a lot of fire, but also he does throw himself at the ground a few times.
Yep.
As now here is Niles North. Yaris Irby, guarded by Yadger. Yadger knocked it away, but Irby able to get it back. Irby thought he got fouled, didn't get it. Olsen now backing down at the three-point line. 3 over Sierra, off the rim. Rebounded by Baradimas. He's got to watch that leg kick. Olsen almost kicked Sierra on the shot. Sotos, left corner. Spin move. Right hand left from the left block. What a use of the glass for 2. What a roll by Sotos. 7-point deficit for Maine South as Niles North has the ball. Irby, guarded by Sotos. Irby turns the corner, left elbow, right hand, dipsy-do, scoop off the glass for 2. Looping scoop makes it 69-60. Sotos back the other way.
Oh.
Tried to feed it through he tried to go through a small window to feed Della Navarre, and instead he feeds it out of bounds to Niles North.
I said looping scoop. I'm going to have to go for ice cream after this, man. As soon as you said that, I was like,
Looping dipsy-do scoop off the glass. Extra sweet for Niles North. And Irby loses it out of bounds off the official. He lost it inbounds, and then he tried to save it. He threw it off the official.
Yeah.
Were people starting to file in to the Hinsdale Bank Gym? Remember the championship game later tonight. Marion Catholic versus unbeaten DePaul Prep, the defending 2A state champions. Would love to win the Hinsdale Central Holiday Classic. Marion would love to win their second tournament, having won it a few years ago back in 2018. Turn to the corner by Yadger to the basket. Knocked out of bounds. It will belong to Niles North as Yadger missed it. It got tapped back to him off his shoulder and went out of bounds.
Yeah, Gowron really forced him to come up short because he was shooting that as he was descending, and it just came up short on that. Even Gowron's presence there defensively altered the trajectory.
Lamb into Olsen. 5:03 and counting. Olsen to Irby. Right angle. Olsen feeding down low to Gowron. He's met by 2 defenders, and the ball was stolen by Della Navarre as he was trying to feed Medina across the court. No look pass to Sierra in the corner, and that's a bad turnover to Lamb.
That was horrible.
Colin Wayman wanted a foul. That was just an errant pass anyway. Here's Irby on the floater. All net for Yaris Irby.
I didn't think that had a chance.
I didn't either, but it hit all net. 17 for Yaris Irby. That's why we're commentating and he's playing. Here's Soto's top of the key.
Among other things.
Sotos loses the ball off of Irby.
Wow.
Out of bounds to Maine South.
They got the lead, the deficit down to 7 points. But you got to give a credit to Niles North for hitting some clutch baskets too.
Gowron with 21, Irby with 17, Lamb with 13. Tyler Sierra with 19, Peniato Sotos with 12 for Maine South. Here's Sotos. Turns the corner. Nice curl. Right hand. Rejected by Gowron. Might have got a piece of the glass on that block.
Either way, that's a stop for Niles North, and now Irby has the ball in his hands.
And also one of the first time we've really seen Gowron actually outright block a shot. He's changed a lot of them.
Yep.
Not really swatting it in the air. Irby, that's a reach. Good call by the officials as Sotos caught him on the hip. Third foul against Peniatos Sotos.
Number 12, Soto's his third. First team foul.
4:01 to go in the game. Stevenson Patriots across the way watching as they get ready for the Lincoln Way Central Knights to take the court out of the other tunnel. Gazina looking to feed Garin. Ball kicked by Sierra, who closed out into the corner. So to stay here with Niles North on the right baseline, just to the right of their offensive goal. Olsen into Irby. Irby wide open to the basket,
Wow.
right hand layup. He faked right, went to the basket, and just laid it up with the right hand from the right block. 73-60. Niles North by 13. Sierra, couple of head fakes. Right baseline jumper, no good. Flying in for the board is Slatke. Soto's right angle three. Cash it in for Petiata Sotos. He's got 15.
That's his first three, I think, right?
Sotos with his first three of the game. He's now got 15. It's a 10-point game. All right, Eric, what are both teams emphasizing here as we get down the stretch?
Woo. Well, Maine South, it's got to be defensive stops. They have to put pressure on Irby. Now, it's easier said than done because of what we talked about, his ability when he has the ball in his hands. But they have to force the pressure on the ball handlers to get them into mistakes and turnovers. Niles North, on the other hand, they're going to have to cool off Maine South. They've battled back. They drew within 7. They finished here right now. They're trailing 10. So they're going to have to find a way to get some stops as well.
3:30 remaining in the game. Hunter Garin, 21 points. Yaris Irby, 19 points. Dylan Lamb, 13. Those are the leading scores for Niles North as they lead at 73-63. Tyler Sierra with 19. Petiata Sotos with 15. And Matthew Yodger with 8, the 3 leading scores for Maine South.
And you remember Olsen still sitting there with 4 fouls.
And he has 15 in the ball game. Irby, down low to Gazina. Touch pass to Garin. Harm! And he's got a chance to complete a 3-point play.
What an unselfish play
yes,
there.
Sir.
Gazina just tapped it over to Garin. He put it back up.
That's a great call, Eric. Beautifully unselfish play by Gazina. That wasn't even really a touch. She just kind of
It's almost like a volleyball
Yeah, almost
set.
like a volleyball set right to his teammate. If you want to call that a touch pass, but now here is Maine South down 13 following the made free throw as well from Garin. Sierra over to Sotos. Sotos to the basket, spinning in through traffic, lost it, deflected out by Irby.
You have to see if Gazina plays in volleyball in the spring. So
he has done a number. He's been the main culprit with the volleyball taps.
Yeah.
Garin to this point in the game, 24 following the 3-point play on the other end. Sierra to the basket, step through, nice finish with the right hand off the rim and in.
He's had a really impressive ball game. He's really kind of willed the team back into existence here in this ball game.
Cross-court pass to Lamb. That's going to go out of bounds to Maine South. Sierra's last layup gave him 21. The turnover will now give it back to Maine South with 2:49 to go in the game. Yodger to Sierra for Maine South. Sierra right to left across the timeline now. Right wing. Right left crossover. Stopped at the free throw line or at the elbow, so to speak. Then a right hand scoop for 2. 23 for Sierra. 76-67 Niles North. Irby to Garin. Ball kind of deflected to Olsen. And now into the right corner to Gazina. Back to Olsen at 30 feet. Cross court to Irby. Same spot, just opposite side of the court. And right back to Olsen. Pass to Garin. Stolen away by Yodger. Clear path home. Yodger right hand left from the left block. Good. 76-71. Yodger now with 10 in the game. Third Hawk in double figures. Yaris Irby. Ooh, dangerous pass to Olsen. Almost didn't get over the timeline. And Coach Olsen immediately called a timeout. He immediately called a timeout. That ball looked like it was going to go parallel to the timeline and go out. Olsen was able to keep it in before the timeout was called.
Is it 76-71?
Should be 76-71 following the Yodger layup. In the building, it still says 76-69. So now and I think the official is saying, yeah, he is looking at the he's looking at the table again, saying they need to get that point on the board. Should be 76-71.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Niles North, time out here with Olsen. What do you think Olsen's telling his team here as they try to hold on to this win?
Woo! Well, So I think he's a little bit concerned. Like we talked about Maine South, we talked about going in after that last timeout or the quarter break, pressure on the ball handlers. That's exactly what Maine South was doing, making it a little bit uncomfortable for Olsen and Irby, and they were able to get some transition points off of that. So they need to tighten that up, but they need to find some movement as well. But aside from Olsen and Irby, there was a lot of standing around.
And now 2:04 remaining in the ball game. In the building, it says 76-69. We've got 76-71. Yadger scored earlier.
See, I thought Coach Wayman was looking at the score. I thought
one of the assistants was looking up.
Yeah.
Like he was saying, like, no, that shouldn't be right. But maybe, I guess it is right. So now Irby has it up top for Niles North. Irby over to Lamb. Lamb back to Irby. Irby just dribbling here. Shot clock at 3. That's a foul. Good call.
Yep.
That's a good call. The ball fake got Della Navari in the air, and he swiped down with 1:40 to go in the game. And that is it for Della Navari, as he is fouled out of this game with 2 points. Foul trouble kept 21 in black on the bench most of this one. So now Yaris Irby with 19 points, looking for 20 and 21, and also some breathing room for the Niles North Vikings. Ball in the air, off the heel of the rim. 76-69.
Irby misses this one. That still gives Maine South a little bit of life.
Irby. Ball in the air again. Missed it. Remember, he got foul shooting a 3 by Della Navari.
That's right, yeah.
Got foul shooting a 3. And now Irby come away empty here. That will be huge, especially if Maine South turns it into points. He's 0 for 2 at the line on this trip. And he salvages it with the third. 77-69. Niles North by 8. Final 95 seconds. Sierra, right angle, right corner, pass to Bear Demons, 3 on the way. Off the rim, Sierra running it down. That's a long run for Sierra, out of bounds to Maine South. Good no call as Sierra and Olsen had a lot of hand fighting going for the loose ball. Olsen fell to the floor and the ball went out off of him.
Yeah, that was good effort on both teams there. Good battle for the loose ball. Maine South needed this.
And here is Sierra now, screen right from Sotos. Sierra, right angle, right block, right hand layup, good for 2, using that right hand.
What's also good about that is that was quick points, right?
Olsen to Irby and back and vice versa.
Ooh.
And now a foul in the backcourt by Maine South with 1:07 to go. Colin Wayman took a glance at the clock, and then he told his guys, let's push up on him here. Third foul on Slatke. Ball comes in to Lamb.
Slatke looks like he came up a little lame after that, and then he gets a reach-in foul.
And that'll be his 4th. Maine South, remember, they got to keep fouling here in order to get to the bonus. But now that one to get him there, and that'll put Lamb at the line.
Yeah, he still looks uncomfortable there. I think on that previous foul, he strained maybe his groin or hamstring.
He looks like he's trying to stretch it out at the line, and now Lamb hits the first. 78-71 Vikings. Niles North by 7. 1:04 to go in the game. Lamb got it to go. Coach Olsen from Niles North will take the timeout. 79-71 Vikings. Scheduled for 20 minutes from now. Stevenson versus Lincoln Way Central. Looks like that'll start on time. No, last night was the late night with the double overtime affair.
Yeah. We've been on game.
Right, we've been on time today with the 30-point blowout. We had that blowout in the other game earlier today.
Yeah,
where Morgan Park lost 71-37 to Lane Tech.
Yeah, that fourth quarter running clock definitely kept things on schedule here. Obviously, Morton wasn't a big fan of it, but that's just kind of how things shook out.
We've seen the running clock a few times. Morton got the running clock on opening night against Oswego East. Also, DePaul Prep had a 53-25 win over Lincoln Way Central. So we've seen, and then Morton actually been on running clock twice at the hands of Lane Tech. So seen a lot of running clock, but we've also seen a few good ones in this tournament.
So we have more to come.
Sotos turns the corner, right hand left from the right block, no good. Missed it, rebounded by Garin. Gazina to Irby, almost stolen under the basket. Irby pushing up the floor, and he's fouled. Slatke with 3 fouls in a matter of 30 seconds will foul him out of the ball game.
Foul number 23, Jack Slatke, his 5th personal foul.
That's it for Slatke. His tournament will conclude with 50 8/10 of a second to go in the game.
It'll be Zach Plate in his stead.
Plate came in early on in the first quarter. Irby's free throw, good again. Irby with 20. It's been the first time, I think this is the first time we've seen Plate since that stretch where Colin Wayman he pulled the reserves out early on.
Yeah, remember he got a quick foul when he got out of there.
Yep.
And he was part of that. You're going to need to go back to the bench crew.
Yeah. And now Irby, 80-71. Irby's free throw. He's got a 22 in the game now. The first free throw made it 21 clearly. As now Sierra, right angle, quick 3 on the way from Sierra. Off the rim. Let's see if the Hawks call it off here. Shot clock is still on with 41 seconds and counting. Olsen working past Sierra. Sierra bodied him up and forced the turnover as Reed Olsen lost it off his own foot.
Sierra's not giving up.
Not at all. That was great body defense. He shuffled his feet, used the body to cut off his path, and then Reed dropped the ball off his own foot.
This will pretty much be it here. They get a basket. It's just
Sierra to Yadger, corner 3, cash it in. Colin Wayman takes the timeout. 81-74. Got to be honest, this is probably the longest game we've seen so far today with all the timeouts and officials conferences and technical fouls.
Yeah. What have we had? 2 or 3 technicals?
And the other thing is they weren't even technicals. They were delayed games.
Yes.
They were delayed games. And so now it's 81-74 Niles North, 28 6/10 of a second remaining in this ball game. Is Maine South going to run out of time here, Eric? It certainly looks like time is the biggest enemy at this point.
They certainly are. And the official just went over to Coach Wayman's corner there just to let him know, hey, you're out of timeouts, by the way. Yeah. Neither team is leaving any timeouts on the board here, which, it's good. They're coaching it down.
Can't take them with you. I mean,
you can't.
Definitely can't bring them back next year, so go ahead and get them out. As now it's 81-74, still to come next. Consolation final. We'll get our first placement of the day for 7th and 8th place. The winner will be 7th, loser will be an 8th. Stevenson versus Lincoln Way Central. The Patriots of Stevenson versus the Knights of Lincoln Way Central. 5th place game coming up after that. Rockford Auburn, Hinsdale Central.
So what time of play do you think Coach Wayman drew up for a 3-stop, 3-score play?
We're going to find out here. I think he's going to extend the defense first. 1-2-2 full court press. Yeah, he's even telling, no, come up. He's telling everybody, do not. Oh, Garin's behind the timeline. If they throw it long, he's got a layup. They instead go to Irby. Irby's fouled by Yadger as they bang knees. And Coach Colin Wayman hands in the head after that foul. I don't think he wanted the foul. He wanted to trap and steal.
Yeah.
So it's
where we're at.
27.1. Yaris Irby, 22 points. We'll step back to the free throw line. You can hear a pin drop in here. And you can hear a net swish as he hit that free throw. 82-74. Irby with a chance to pretty much ice this one. 83-74. 24 for 24. Sotos to the basket. Right-hand layup in for Soto, 17. Maine South extending the defense. Irby gets past Sierra, gets fouled in the backcourt with 14 seconds, and Maine South will foul him again here.
Hawks foul on number 12. Sotos is 4th.
And Yaris Irby will go back to the free throw line where he has a chance to become the game's leading scorer here. He's got 24. Tyler Sierra has 25 leading all. Ball in the air. And he got the first. 25 for Irby. This one will make him the game's leading scorer. If he hits it, he'll get 26. Feels like most of his points in his half have been at the stripe.
It really does. They all count.
84-76. Ball in the air. 26 for Irby. 85-76 our score. Soto's right angle at the free throw line, and he's fouled by Gazina. The game that just won't end. 9.5 seconds.
I feel like we're going to get 3 more possessions here in this last 10 seconds.
Maybe that's what Colin Wayman drew up in that huddle and said, let's just foul him and see if we get how many more possessions we can get here in these last 30 seconds.
It's a battle of attrition here.
Sierra will inbound it. Gets it into Sotos. Left corner 3, off balance 3, airballed it right to Yadger. That should do it. Actually saved it to Garin. Sierra tried to foul. Wayman says call it off. And the Niles North Vikings will get the win. 85-76 our final as they beat the Maine South Hawks. Feels like Maine South had a chance, but really Niles North kind of controlled that one from start to finish.
They really did. I mean, they battled back. They got within, 5 is the closest they got. But Niles North just able to find some clutch baskets there. The play of Irby was outstanding. Olsen did a great job there. And obviously Gowron with the early points, he was a factor. Just too much to overcome for the Maine South Hawks.
That'll conclude the tournament for both the Niles North Vikings and the Maine South Hawks. We thank you all for joining us all tournament long. But now we get on to placement matches. The consolation final coming up shortly. The Stevenson Patriots, the Lincoln Way Central Knights. Next on SportsTownChicago.com.